Welcome viewers, I am Ranjit from Great Online Training. I am a R programmer. I hope you are enjoying the lecture series where we are learning how to write code in R and SAS interchangeably, right? So if you have if you have not watched the previous video, please do that. So you can find that link in the description box, right? And also, so please post your questions and the feedback if you have any, right? And we are also providing various paid courses, so for that please do check our page greatonlinetraining.com, right? Or maybe you can find the link in the description box, right? So let's jump to the agenda of today's presentations. Let me make it full screen. Okay, so in the last video we saw a creation of data sets with different number of rows, right? And we have also saw various functions like ls, list functions, removal of functions, and we have created the data frame. We have also imported text file into R, right? Let's move to the agenda of the today's presentations. So we'll first import the Excel and CSV file into R and SAS, right? And after that we'll do the attach and detach functions. We'll use that functions, and after that we'll do the sorting of data sets, and then at the end we'll remove the duplicates into R and SAS as well, right? So first we'll do the R. So let's move to the R Studio. Okay, so let me check the working directory here. So for that we should write here get wd. Let me write in the editor. So get wd. Okay, then control enter. So if you see here we have the working directly in C drive, but I have pasted few dataset in T drive, so I will change the working directly into T, right? So for that we have to write here set wd, and we have to provide the location. So let me go there. Okay, so this is the place where I wanted to set my working directory, right? So we have to place the location under double quote. Okay, and we have to change this slash into a forward slash, right? So if I run this with control enter, right? Let me check once again. Okay, so our location is in data. Perfect. Now we'll import the Excel and CSV file one by one, and we'll see the variables and we'll do the manipulation of data over there, right? So first of all, for importing Excel file, we need one package, right? The package name is read Excel, right? So first of all, we have to install that package. So for that, we have command install.packages, right? And here in the code, we have to write read Excel, right? So I have already installed this package in my R Studio, so I will not do that. So I will directly call this package. For calling the package, so we have command library RARY, right? And here we have to write the package name read Excel. Okay, let me run with control enter. Perfect. So it is good. And now we'll call the file. Okay, so for that we have the keyword here read underscore Excel, right? And here we have to provide the actual file, right? So let me go there. Okay, so now we have to provide the actual file that we wanted to import here, right? So let me go there. So Excel file. So we have two files. So energy generation. So this is, if you see here, type Microsoft Excel worksheet. So I will import this file. Okay, so just copy the name. Here we have to paste the name, and then after we have to write the extension. So this is XLX format, XLSX. Okay, then we'll write here some dataset name. So that energy underscore generation. Okay, so let me run this. Okay, perfect. Underscore generation. So let me check the dataset. Okay, perfect. So here we have variables. Let me open. Okay, so here we have year and the resource. So these are different mode of energy generation, right? Biogas, coal and gas, right? Thermal, geothermal, hydro, right? And here the variables of data gigawatt hours, what we have here at the data underscore value. So this is the actual amount what the biogas has generated, right, in 2007, right? So this is some sort of energy generation data sets. So we'll do some sort of data munging over there. We'll process the data. We'll do the average calculation across all the resources, right? So we'll do those activity after some time, right? Okay, so good to go. So we have imported here the Excel file, but now we'll import the CSV file, right? So for that we should write here read and dot CSV, right here, and in the parenthesis and in double quote we have to provide the file that have CSV format, right? So if you see here we have Microsoft Excel comma separated value. So this is CSV format. So I will just copy the name of file and I will paste here in the double quote, right? And I will write here CSV. Okay, let me create the dataset name employee. Okay, run an emp. Okay, so see here we have a dataset. This is employee dataset where we have a name, age, sex and salaries, right? So this is the CSV file that we have imported here. So let me move to SAS and we'll import these two files over there as well, right? Okay, so now we'll import the Excel and the CSV file that we have imported into SAS as well, right? So first of all, we have to write the command here, proc import, then data file, then after that we have to provide the location. So here we have the location, right? And then we'll provide the file name. Okay, so this is the file. This is the Excel file. Okay, so let me write here the name, and then after that we have to provide the extension XLSX. Okay, this is file extension, and then after we have to write here out the dataset name energy underscore generation. Okay, and then we have to write here dbms is xlsx. Okay, and then run. Let me run this with this submit button. Perfect. So let me check the dataset here. Perfect. So this is the dataset. So year wise resource giga energy generation for different resources, right? It's biogas, solar, and this is the actual value in gigawatt hours, right? So this is the dataset that we have just imported in R, right, prior to this. Okay, so let me import the CSV file as well. So proc import data files, then the location. So we have the same location here. Out. Okay, so for that, for CSV file, the name is employee underscore data, right? So just copy this and we'll paste here, then CSV. Okay, then out employee data, and then dbms equal to CSV. Okay, and then run. Let me run. Just select this and just press the submit button. Perfect. Here we have employee data as well. So we are having here 12 rows and 4 variables. So these are names, age and sex and salary. So if you just click here, so name is in character, right? Similarly, if you select the other variable age, so age is numeric, sex is in character format, or salary is in numeric format, right? So good to go. So now we'll move to R and we'll see some other functionality. Okay, now we'll see two functions, attach and detach together, right? So what attach does, right? So suppose I wanted to call a particular variable of an employee dataset. So let me check the employee dataset. So here we have four variables: name, age, sex, and salary, right? So suppose I wanted to call salary here and wanted to see what are the values, right? So here we have to call, first we have to provide the data frame name and then $sign, and then we have to write salary, right? And control enter. So it will provide the information of a salary. If suppose I write here salary without mentioning the data frame name, right? So it will not give anything. Okay, so it will not give anything, right? So for that there is one function, attach, right? So if I write here attach and then we'll provide the data set, data frame name, right? Data set or data frame. So in SAS we usually call data set, or in R nomenclature we'll usually refer data frame, right? So if I write the function attach and in the parentheses if I write employee emp data frame name and control enter. So what it does, it after this functionality we can call the data, we can call the individual variable without specifying the data frame name, right? Suppose I wanted to call here name, as control enter, it will provide the information, right? Then sex, control enter, it will provide the information. Then we have age variable, so right, and then we have one variable salary. Okay, perfect. So if we use the function attach, we can call the variable of a particular data set without mentioning the data frame name, right? So this is the very handy functionality when we have a huge number of variables. So every time we have no need to specify the data frame name and $sign the variable name. We can we can directly call the variable and it will give the, we can access the variable directly, right? So suppose I wanted to stop that functionality, so we have to write here detach, and then we have to write the data frame name here. Okay, so suppose I write here name and enter, so it will not give anything, right? So this is very good functionality of R that is very useful when we have to deal with a very large number of variables in a data set, right? Very large number of variables or column, it means the same, right? So in R we usually refer variable as columns. Okay, so now we'll do the sorting of the data frame, right? So for that we have to just specify the data frame name. This is data frame, right? And then after we have to specify the big bracket, and then we have to use the function order, ORDER, right? And then small bracket, and then here we have to specify the variable name. So first is, suppose we wanted to sort by name, so name, right? Then comma, employee, this is salary, right? And suppose we wanted to sort by descending, so decreasing, we have to write here decreasing and then true. Okay, so it will sort the variable, it will sort this employee data set. And suppose we wanted to store into a data frame employee one, right? Suppose run this, let me run this, control enter. I have missed here comma, so we have to write here comma and then control enter. Okay, so see, if you have, if you see in the environment section, there is one data set that is created, employee underscore one. So if I open employee emp and then one, right, control enter, let me open here. So if you see, it is sorted with name, right? And decreasing is equal to true. Okay, and then it has used the salary. So first of all, it has sorted with R, then M, because we have used decreasing, right? So that's why. So if you wanted to do in different way, right? So we can write here, we can copy the whole code, or we can write two, we can create other data set and build in the same way. Then big bracket, then outer, then data set name. Suppose we wanted to use same format but in ascending order, right? EMP, and then we have to provide the other variable salary here. Okay, and then this decreasing is equal to false, right? Okay, so let me run this. Perfect. Here we have created the data set. Let me check here. You see, it is sorting ascending order, right? Based on variable name and salary, right? So good to go. Okay, so let me do the same sorting in SAS as well. So in SAS we have a dedicated proc sort, then data we have to provide here, and then we can write by statement and then run. So whatever the variable we wanted to sort, we have to provide in a by statement, right? So suppose we wanted to sort by name and salary, right? So if you see here, name and salary, let me sort, let me run. Okay, and let me create the data set. Out is equal to emp1. Okay, and descending, we can write here descending name, and we have to also provide descending salary. Okay, so in the same way, so that we can compare both the data set, right? Okay, so employee 1, let me split the screen. Okay, so let me open the employee 1. If you see, both are having the same data structure, right? Because we have used this in the same order of sorting, right? So if you see, first is 630.9 and RAM 24, and then if you see the last observations, so this is Alice, 21 years, female, and 843.25 as a salary, right? Okay, so let me do the another way, right? Ascending order. So let me write here proc sort data. We have to specify the data set which we wanted to sort. Out is what? So it will create another data set after sorting, right? Here we have to specify the variable name. So we write name and salary. Okay, and then run. Perfect. So if I run this, let me run here with submit button. Okay, so employee 2, you can compare here with employee 2 dataset because we have kept the order in the same, right? So if you see, so first is Alice, 21 years, and then 843, and the last is Ram, 630.990 as a salary, right? So perfect. Okay. Okay, so far so good. So now we'll remove the duplicates and we'll calculate the distinct value of a particular dataset, right? Based on different variables. So for that we need one library, that is dplyr, right? So those who have not installed dplyr into the R Studio, so for those we have to write here install, right? And in the parentheses we have to provide the dplyr. Sorry, dplyr, right? So I have already installed, so I will not do that. So let me comment here and I will directly call the library dplyr, dplyr, right? So I will directly call, and now I will sort the data set, right, in a different way, and then using the dplyr library, right, I will first do the sorting and then we'll remove the duplicates, right? So for that we can just use this function arrange, right? And we have to just write here the name 6, right? And then here we have to provide first the dataset name, so emp comma and then variable name. Suppose we wanted to sort by name and salary. Okay, and suppose we wanted to save on employee 1 data set, right? So that we can compare. This should be 3. Okay, let me run this. Okay, so let me check the data set. We have sorted the data set using the arrange function, and arrange function is available in dplyr packages, right? So we have to install dplyr first, and then we can use this arrange function to sort the data set, right? So here there is a bit easy, right? We have to just provide the data set name and then the variable name, right? We have no need to write $sign and the data frame name and then the variable name, right? So this is a bit easier here, right? So now we'll remove the duplicates. So if I show you, so there are duplicates here. If you see, there is duplicate for the author, right? So 22 male and the same age, right? So this is one duplicate here. So we'll remove the duplicate. And also if you see the other data sets like Jack, right? So if we consider only the name and age and also the sex variable Jack, all three are same, right? But the salary is a bit different. So if we consider all three variables, so in that case it will remove the any one observation. So it basically it will remove the last one, right? So if we sort by ascending or descending, right, and it will remove the last observations. Okay, so if you see here, let me check the data set here. So if you see this employs 3 data sets. So if you just drag down, if you see the author, so these two are of duplicate, right? Because all the variables name, age, sex and salary all are same, right? So this is one duplicate. And here also for Jack, if we consider the age and sex and then Jack is also a duplicate record. But if you consider the salaries as well, but salary is bit different. So if you consider salary, then it will not remove this duplicate. But if you consider only name, age and sex, so then it will remove the duplicate for Jack as well, right? So let me do that here. So for removing duplicates, let me write comment here. Okay, so for that we have one function distinct. Okay, so this function, and we have to specify the data set name, data frame name. Then after we have to write the variable name. So name we want, sex we want, then we want age, and we want also salary. Okay, so we have kept all the variable here. Let me save into another data set, employee 4, right? Let me run this. Okay, so let me check the employee 4. Yeah, if you see, the earlier one have 12 observations, earlier one have 12 observations, but here we have 11, right? So one is removed. Which one? We have 2 records for Arthur, so one record need to be removed for Arthur, right? Because we have also considered the salary, right? So but if you see the Jack, the record for the Jack is available because salary is different for the Jack, right? So if I do one thing, if I remove the salary here while applying the duplicates, then the record for Jack is also removed, right? So if I save here employee 5, right? So if I write here control enter, if I run this code, so employee, if I just open this, if you see the number of observations reduces to 10, right? So if you see here, we have only one record for Jack, right? And also if you see, we have only 3 variables. So for that, if you wanted to keep all the variables what we have in the data set, so for that we have to write here and comma, and then we have to write here keep we have to write period, then keep dot and keep underscore all is equal to true, right? So now we learn that. Okay, so let me check the employee 5. We have all the variables, and but the record is 10 because one record for Jack and another record for Arthur has removed, right? Perfect. So let me move to SAS and let's do the similar sort of removal of duplicates, right? So let me make it full screen. Okay, so for that, for in SAS, so it is very easy, right? So suppose I wanted to remove the duplicate, so for that we have only the same proc sort data. Right here we have to specify the data set name. Employee out, we have suppose employee 3, right? And suppose we wanted to remove the duplicate, so here we have to write here dup key, okay, and then parents and then semicolon, then we have to provide the variable name and salary. Okay, so suppose we'll do in the same order, right? What we had. Okay, so we'll do this in the same order what we did in R. So we have provided name, sex, age, right, and salary, all three variables, right? And we have to run at the end. Okay, so let me run this. Okay, if you see one record has been removed, so just open the employee 3 dataset here. So if you see, we have one record for Arthur because the other one is removed. Okay, now we'll see the other part, right? So let me write here, will not consider this time the salary variable, right? So proc sort data to employee, then out is equal to employee 4. Okay, now to key, no to key, and then we have to write here the variable name, sex, age, and we'll remove the salary, right? So let me run this. So here we have 10 records, right? And we should have one record for Jack as well here, right? So let me open. So if you see, we have one record for Jack because Arthur is removed. Okay, perfect. So suppose we wanted to apply duplicate on all the variables, right? So no need to specify here all the variables one by one. We can write here proc sort data is equal to emp, out is equal to emp5, right? And here we write no dup key, right? We have to write here by and then underscore all underscore. Okay, okay, so if you see here, it removed the Arthur. Let me open the data set. So we have one record for Arthur here because for Arthur we have same values for name, age, and Arthur having duplicates record. So it has removed all the other observations for Arthur, right? So it has considered all variables while removing the duplicate. So suppose we wanted to remove the duplicates considering all the variables, so we can use the duplicate function as well here in SAS to do that, right? So let me check, is there any how we'll do removal of duplicates, right? Considering all the variable, not writing all here, right? All the variable name here. So there is one function that is distinct underscore all. So let me create one variable, one data set here, 6, right? And here we'll write distinct underscore all, right? And here we'll provide just a data set name, right? Suppose employee. Okay, employee, right? Let's run that, control enter. So if you see, we have 11 record because one record for the Arthur is removed. Okay, so this work as a dup rep or no dup key with all the variables underscore what we have in SAS right here. So this is the basic functionality that we show today. So okay, thank you everyone for your time. So we'll meet in the next video, and please do subscribe our channel and like our video if you find useful. And also we are running the paid courses as well, so please do check in the description below, or you can visit our website greatonlinetraining.com. Okay, thank you.